Welcome to Book Thots, brand lifestyle podcast. We are thoughts for books, and these are our thoughts on books. I'm Jenna.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Adriana.
Three sisters stripping down one book at a time. Today we are reviewing chapters 15 through 21 for part 3 of our 10-week journey through Heat of the Everflame, the third book in the Kindred's Curse saga.
Before we jump in, we do have a content warning. Today's podcast is rated mature. We are Book Thoughts after all, so we're going to be using adult language, talking about adult topics, so please pay attention to who may be listening near you. Additionally, this episode will include spoilers for all 3 current books. Each episode we will focus on specific chapters, but our conversation will include the entire series. So if you haven't read it, today's episode is not for you. Lastly, I'm just going to apologize ahead of time. Jenna and I have a cold, so we're going to sound like we've been smoking for the last 60 years.
Or have we been hotboxing in
That would be
the recording studio?
That'd be a fun episode.
That would be.
Some gummies and some hotboxing. They didn't talk about the book at all. We'll also be mispronouncing anything that we can find in the book. We are all 3 leading this episode. I'm going to kick it off, then Jenna, then Adriana. So let's strip it down. Strip it down, girl. Strip it down, girl. Oh, actually, no, we're not stripping it down yet. I figured we'd put the spotlight at the front here because I'm curious. I didn't get to go to the event this past weekend, but how was it?
It was socially booked, and it was super cool. There were tons of authors there. Too many for us to get around to. We pretty much stayed put at our table and we're like not the socialite of the crew.
Yeah.
So sorry about that. That's on us. But
I may have had too much to drink. They did warn me about that second one being a little stronger.
We knew the bartender, so we got a little bit crazy.
Who was the bartender?
Her name's Courtney, and her maiden name was Worsham. I played soccer with her.
Oh, okay.
You might have played soccer with her.
That name
She must have left before.
Shout out to your bartending skills.
Yeah.
What was the drink of the night, or the drink that got you in trouble?
Me?
Yeah, because weren't they fun names?
They were fun names.
I don't remember what mine was called, but each drink had a unique name, and then it would tell you the description of what alcohol was in it and everything. But then there was a tagline to get you to choose your drink, and mine was Liquid Courage.
Ooh, I like it. Jenna, what did you try?
I was blue. There was blueberries in it. I don't know the name of it, but I also did without Sprite, and I did just the soda water, so it wasn't as sweet, and it was
perfect.
I did pick every single blueberry out of my drink and eat it, and they were all making fun of me.
She even stole your husband and I's orange because
my husband.
Yeah.
My own.
What did I
my
say?
own husband, not yours.
Well, it kind of felt like you were talking to me and you said your husband. It's like, I didn't know he went.
No, my bad. I didn't realize that.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I stole Garrett and Adriana's oranges from their drinks and ate them, and somebody came and tried to take my cup while I was still eating oranges, and I was like, no.
Did you just not eat beforehand?
I'm not going to waste. The fruit was soaked in the alcohol. I'm not going to waste alcohol that
Every
I paid
last
for.
drop
Listen,
matters.
Gotta get it.
Every last drop.
She tried to do a shot, a mysterious shot, the second drink, and she told the bartender that, which shout out to the bartender, but she told the bartender to surprise her. And we know Jenna.
Yeah.
That is a mistake you're about to
You
make.
should have been very specific in what you wanted. Let me guess, it was too sweet.
No,
Tasted like Red Bull.
No, she just gave me straight whiskey.
Oh.
It was fine.
Double
That's
shot.
perfect. That's awesome.
It was totally fine.
So we gave her the
So,
oranges. to
Turns
help,
out, if I don't go to the event, they get blackout without me.
yes.
So
Never again.
So anyway,
Well, glad it was a great event. Sorry I couldn't be there, but it seems like you guys met lots of authors, had lots of good drinks, and made awesome memories. Hopefully they have it next year. Did they say they'd have it next year for sure?
They are trying to actually put an organized Facebook page together for just this event and continue to have it.
Okay,
So,
awesome. So hopefully if you didn't get to come, we'll see you there next year in Oklahoma City at what bar was it at?
Social Capital.
Social Capital.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's where Courtney is the bartender, and you should go see her.
Go
and
see Courtney. She's going to give
she'll
you
make you
say you're with the Book Thoughts and she'll give you a hefty pour.
lots of yummy drinks.
Now we can strip it down. Chapter 15. Diem and Alix kept an injured Terran warm through the night while Luther kept watch. Speaking of Luther, he is acting VV suspicious. When Diem asked if he was okay the previous day, he said, "I'm fine," and "just worried." Liar. Diem goes out to check on where Luther kept watch, and he confronts her about lying to Terran about surviving the Godstone. He was once going to use it to poison his dad, so he knows the effects. Diem is surprised he wanted to do this to Regent Remus, but who wouldn't want to do that to Regent Remus? Diem and Luther go back and forth on Terran's odds of survival, then it goes quiet between them. Luther has his walls up. I wonder why. Then he finally says, "Is it right to lie to someone you love when you know death is coming? To let them believe the future might stretch on forever when you know your time left together is far shorter? Or is that adding cruelty to a tragedy?" Diem reminds him that healing is far more than salves and medicines. It's laughter, touch, hope, etc. Tara needs a fighting chance, so she will give him every bit of what he needs. Luther finally agrees and pulls Diem in for a sorrowful kiss before returning to Terran. Diem checks Terran's wounds while Luther and him banter. The wound looked normal except for the black veins webbing from the cut. I'm no healer, but I think that's a bad sign. The reality of the situation is hitting Diem when she looks towards the woods to see guardians trying to wait them out. They would need supplies, water, and food at some point anyway. Knowing this, Luther has an idea based off the old maps of Igneos that he had seen. Walk a few hours to the abandoned mortal city and get fresh water and shelter. A tough ask for an injured Terran, but Terran says he can push through, so the four of them head out into the desert. And heading out into a desert with people who want you dead watching, no supplies, and already tired, well, it's just not a good mixture. Dehydration sets in quickly. On top of that, there are sandstorms, and I'm overstimulated just thinking about it. And it's not just the physical demand weighing down on everyone. Diem checks Terran's wounds once they stop for the night, and the black webs have grown at least an inch. Diem is trying her hardest to put on a smile, but it's becoming painful to think of a world without Terran. Diem takes first watch that night so she can have herself a good little cry alone. She wasn't lying about joy and laughter being medicine as well, but that doesn't mean it doesn't take a toll on the people administering it. She lets her thoughts drift into the ways she will seek her revenge with Vance, but this causes an even bigger battle to break out inside herself. Her want for revenge for Terran is what every mortal wants who has been hurt by the Descended. How can she ask for world peace if she doesn't even want it herself? Diem starts praying to Grandma Lumnos and just asking why. Why her? Why not Luther? Why choose anyone? Diem feels like she might be losing her mind praying to a dead woman, so she ends with saying, "You don't get my prayers yet. Save Terran and get us home, then we'll talk." A sandstorm sounds so overstimulating.
It like the first time I went to Florida and I was on the beach and the wind picked up, it freaking hurts. Those tiny little pellets of sand, that hurts like a motherfucker.
If you think about what sandpaper can do, sandstorm is like
Plus you're sunburned.
sandpaper.
You're sunburnt, and then you have like all that peppering you. It's crazy. I thought it was funny though when she described like her jumping onto Terran to cover his wounds, and then both Alix and Luther jumping onto her to cover her. It was like, it's like a little family of like, I don't know, bats spreading their wings and covering each other.
Like a dog pile.
Yeah.
We can definitely note that they love each other enough to do that, because like Terran is going through it right now.
But Luther, he's also going through it. Why does he choose to lie to her? Why not say something? I literally just don't get this part, because it's not really within his character to act like this, to me.
He even like he asks her opinion on it, and she gives it to him straight, and she tells him like, put up a brave front because that person needs it. And then he still does the opposite. I'm like, what is going on, Luther?
Yeah, it bothers me that these chapters he chooses to keep secrets, even though they've come to the understanding, no secrets between them. They both lie at every turn when that is presented an opportunity, especially now. But you guys got to face the facts.
It's just so obvious rereading it. I mean, I knew it the first time too that he was injured, but reading it the second time, it might as well have just been written out that he, like a sentence that says Luther is injured at this moment.
Yeah.
Seriously, I remember the first time reading it and I was like, why is no one asking Luther what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Because he is acting so sus right now.
And he's even...
Sus. Look at you.
I'm cool. I'm a cool kid.
She has a teenage boy.
He even like hangs back while they're going through the desert and multiple chapters through this trekking. But like, He can't keep up. He's weakened. Like, nobody points that out. Nobody's like, hey, Luther, you don't look too hot either.
DM even mentions like the sand still clinging to his clothing where it was wet from Taryn's blood. Like, it's his. It's his blood.
Or that he has his walls up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just frustrated.
I'm
That no one
screaming.
asks, hey, Luther, you're not acting like yourself. You're a bit down.
I mean, it is kind of fair that DM continues to equate it to it's Taryn being injured and that's his closest and longest friend. However, no.
However, he's never shut her out before, so that you would think would make DM's little light bulb go off and say, he's never really acted like this. Maybe I should say something. I think about how medicine isn't like the only medicine quotations all the time, but specifically I think of the opposite. Not of it being like of healing, because they say talk to someone in a coma, even if you think they can't hear you, it's helpful, things like that. But I always think of broken heart syndrome when someone like that, like a couple loses, one of them dies, and then the other one shortly dies afterwards from literally a broken heart. I think that's just so crazy that can happen.
Emotions play into healing in many different ways, for sure.
And DM's internal battle about revenge is so relatable. Just going back and forth with herself, just being mad at herself for wanting revenge because she wants the mortals and everyone to get along, but then she understands why everyone isn't getting along, but that's what she's asking people to do. I think she hasn't quite realized that the only way for like world peace is to live in the gray, and that's just what she's gonna have to do.
Yeah, I mean, she's gonna have to be the bigger person when it comes to wanting revenge, and that's super hard for a big grudge holder like me.
I honestly don't think she is a big grudge holder. Like, I feel like she goes back and forth on wanting revenge and not, but also I feel like she kind of forgives people rather quickly, or at least Henry, but he's not in these chapters, so we don't need to talk about him.
Well, but she's also, when she's presented the opportunity to save a life versus take it, she ends up usually trying to save that person's life. She doesn't want just pure vengeful path.
She gave somebody say Ghislaine for me because I know I'm not doing it.
Ghislaine. It's actually just Ghislaine.
She tries to give him mercy and then he attacks her and obviously gets dissipated. But
yeah,
I mean, yes, that was a prime example of one of her first acts as queen, showing mercy to someone who didn't really deserve it.
Did not.
Vance deserves it.
Yeah, no. I don't think she needs to feel guilty about Vance. He's an outlier.
Anyway.
I also love that it ends with her calling Lumnos Grandma Lumnos.
Oh, yes.
That's just so random, but also just so funny to show her just lack of respect towards not the descended, the other word.
The kindred.
The kindred.
I had that highlighted because I was like, why out of all places, instead of calling her mother, you call her grandma, which just is kind of like endearing because like, yes, you were chosen by the crowns, but at the same time, like, it's hilarious.
It reminds me of Naruto because he calls Grandma Tsunade. Naruto calls one of his, like, not teacher, but like, what do you call it when somebody's over you?
Boss?
Like supervisor?
Manager?
Yeah.
We're all in the business field,
Sensei?
can you tell?
Sensei, yeah.
Sensei.
He calls her Grandma Tsunade, and then he calls it the other one that's the same age, Pervy Sage.
Pervy Sage?
Yeah, Pervy Sage.
Like, because he thinks he's a perv?
He is a perv.
Okay. Chapter 16. They arrive at the ghost of Mortal City the next day. The town of dark red clay buildings was built around an oasis, almost appearing like an all-inclusive resort until they get closer and saw that it was anything but, starting with skeletons, hundreds of them. It seems the mortals were running from something scarier than trying to survive the desert. And in a hurry, too. All the houses were left untouched. I picture Hunger Games for this scene when Katniss is shown District 12. That's where she lived, right? District 12.
Yeah.
It's when I really picture when Katniss is shown District 12 after they've gone through and destroyed it.
Yeah.
And how she just sees all those bodies. Oh, and they came across some Fortosian still. So they took some since they lost a bit in the skirmish with the mortals, including the sword of Quobois. The only thing the mortal city was lacking was food. They discussed possibly going to the coast, but Luther shuts that down real quick. Diem is an uninvited guest in Igneos, which means Igneos can kill her on sight, which he would probably do no matter the rules. Everyone agrees at this sentiment, but Alix reminds them that Igneos wasn't always the harsh, bloodthirsty kind. Igneos used to be a place where the least fortunate were the first to offer help when needed. But then the Blood War happened. Mortals and Decided wanted Igneos to pick a side. They wouldn't. Someone poisoned the oasis that they relied on, so the Igneos leader at the time had to give in. Then, when the newest crown took control, he banished all mortals. Diem thinks back to what Henry said about this so-called banishment, which was really an extermination. Luther and Taryn say that's a lie that guardians share to get people to join. Diem says they don't need lies to join. They see it with their own eyes, like the man that burned alive by just stepping foot in Igneos. Fair point. Diem is getting a little heated when she checks one of Taryn's wounds to find it oozing. Yuck. Instantly, her anger turns to panic, the first sign of infection. Just as her thoughts are scrambling, Taryn asks if she really was part of the Guardians. Diem admits she was, and Taryn says that he's lost friends to the Guardians. He is hurt that she would be a part of a group like that even after making friends with everyone at the palace. Before Diem can respond, Luther tells them that he also worked with the Guardians. So if Taryn is going to be mad, he can be mad at Luther. Luther then grunts and walks away. Taryn reluctantly letting Diem finish his bandage and eventually tumbles away as well. Diem hides the black-soaked bandage that was on Taryn before Alix notices. Alix heads to get washed off with Diem, and Diem asks if she would still like to serve her, and Alix says yes. In fact, Alix isn't even mad. She understands the want for revenge by the mortals after seeing Mortal City. Seems like that 3-hour tour really set with her. They get dressed in clothes that they found that are better suited for the desert, and just as her and Alix are talking about Luther, they hear thump, thump, thump. Gryvern wings. Sarai? Wait, no, not Sarai. Shit. Her and Alix hide, hoping Luther and Taryn found a place to hide as well. A Gryvern lands with a man and 2 women. The man being Igneos, of course, and then he tells the 2 women to search for Diem, bring her back alive, and just kill the others. Igneos starts walking around, speaking out loud, and claiming to know Diem is on his land. Diem recalls having the same feeling at her ball, but the forging magic doesn't show the exact location of where the foreigners are, just that they are on the land. So that means Igneos knows there are intruders on his land, but not exactly where at. Igneos then says something interesting. He says that Diem doesn't feel like a stranger on his land or like one of his own, but instead entirely new. Instead of the forging magic bending at her feet, Diem's feet are crushing it. Igneos goes back to his Gryvern, Tybalt, demanding Tybalt share the location of where he can sense the intruders. When Igneos doesn't get the response he wants, he hits the creature, drawing blood. Diem huffs and mumbles, Gryverns read intentions, asshole, not minds. Their Gryvern goes still and looks right where Diem and Alix are hiding. Shit. How do you picture? You
Like,
haven't
I
seen
don't.
Hunger Games, so
But
blah,
I-
blah, blah.
It
But-
was like really sobering to think about like how long the mortal city has sat there untouched and like these people just rotted away where they fell dead.
yeah.
That was crazy.
Or that anyone who enters with the promise of their land or their water, I think was something that they wanted to like come and see, that it was like instantly if they were found, he would just like ignite his flames.
I don't. Well, I mean,
Well-
if mortals step on the land, they ignite in flames. But I don't think there was like a promise, or I don't remember reading anything about a promise. It's just after he banished the mortals, if they stepped foot on the land, they would get. But it used to be where people would come to the oasis and
Yeah,
they would help. But I don't think it was a trick. It used to be they would literally help people come to like find water if they were lost in the desert at this oasis. And then the Blood War, someone poisoned the oasis. So then that's when whoever was the leader, whoever was Igneos at the time, had to choose a side. He chose the descended side, obviously, or he or she, don't want to assume. And so that's why the mortals started to fight back so much. And that's when the current Igneos, who seems like a real hothead, was like, you're all banished. And I do think he was like, you're all banished. You got 5 seconds to leave. And then that's why you have your little tower stretch of bones, because he just basically killed them instantly. In my mind, I think that's what happened.
I just feel really, really bad for Igneos because it was explained that they would even patrol the desert so that people wouldn't die in the harsh lands. Like the Descended were taking care of the mortals like the kindred wanted.
Yeah.
And they were living in harmony, and then greediness took over and made that oasis like
Bad. Both
really,
sides.
really, really bad.
I bet you both sides poisoned it too. I bet you it
Oh,
was the
yeah, it
Descended and it
says.
was like double poisoning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Because they
said
can't just blame one side.
no, I'm not trying to. I'm just saying greediness from both sides took over and made Igneos what it is now.
Oh,
And
yeah.
That's
I
sad.
can't even imagine him as like a kinder person because of how like pure hateful he is.
Well, I think
not-
it was
I don't-
someone else at the
yeah,
time.
I do too. But
Yeah.
like just knowing him and how much even like Tybalt hates him.
And I also think this is where I would least want to live out of the circle of land, because I don't do well with deserts.
No, heat is not okay for me.
It makes me panic real quick. Makes my blood boil.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The one chapter where Luther puts the cloak over Dean when she's already sweating, I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no.
Take me. I don't care. Kill me. This Scriven is the one that is Sarai's mate, right?
I don't remember.
I'm
I
almost
thought it
positive
was.
it is.
But I don't remember
I
when
think
we
you're
get
both right.
confirmation.
But I don't know.
I just think because I think she's talking about it with Sarai later, and that's when she gets that that's the mate, and that obviously the Scriven isn't that bad. Its owner is really bad, and it has to do mostly of what its owner says, but obviously not fully what the owner says, because he does kind of go against it when Igneos is saying, where are they exactly? And, I don't know. Here, somewhere. I like that rebellion.
It's like a mistreatment of him, I feel like.
Yeah, well, 100% is. He hits him until he bleeds just because he didn't listen. So, thoughts on the forging magic breaking? Is any theories forming or anything changing in regards to what DM is? Or are we all still within the same camps that we were earlier?
I still think she's whatever you want to label, like the forgotten or whatever. She's not kindred and she's not descended. She's something else because she is so different.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like she's one of a kind or
She-
two of a kind.
She's the beginning and the end. She is whatever the Everflame tree used to be.
The
There
Crowns
were-
are definitely concerned because they don't even know what she is. They keep calling, some of them keep calling her an imposter.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody know what she is.
Ain't nobody know.
And what's his face is probably just gossiping. The smart, creepy one.
Sophos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Blood War, I think I need someone to make a timeline and a fact sheet of what we currently know up until this point. Because it's mentioned a lot. And obviously, anything bad that happened, you can trace back to the Blood War. But I don't remember all the facts we know about it. So I wish that there was a fact sheet at the beginning or end of this book.
I mean,
think that's part of the next book, though.
hopefully, because we have been through the books recently and we didn't get any facts on the Blood War that I can remember us pinpointing and going over.
Oh, just goes back to the Blood War, the Blood War. Everything happened in the Blood War.
Give me the novella about the Blood War, please.
Or just a packet, just a little fact
An
sheet.
information sheet.
Yeah. With a timeline that just shows here's Blood War and then the Battle of the Blood and then the Battle of the War and then just, keep going.
Yeah.
And this is when we added them together. And
Yeah.
it was Blood War battle.
This is a bad one. This is the worst one of all of them. Do you think the Guardians are lying about the Descended? Or do you think Taryn and Luther just got defensive there for a second? I'd already told you I think that they did exactly what Henry said. I don't think there was any need to lie about that.
When DM gets super pissed and she's like, oh, well, he just ignited them where they
Oh, yeah, when they
were.
didn't have any excuse for join. Yeah.
Yeah, and Luther's like, where did you hear that? And
Yeah.
she's like, I
From a
read it
friend.
somewhere because
Yeah.
I'm not going to give Henry up. I can't have Luther hating him.
Again.
Fuck you.
Luther already hates him. You're not going to
I know.
change
It's not
that.
going to change anything.
Anyway.
I just think it's to me, that was a weird moment because You guys are standing on a mound of bones. It's obvious that they weren't given a lot of time to flee. It says everything was left like it was the middle of the day, and nobody grabbed weapons. So it doesn't really seem like he gave them a choice to, hey, pack your stuff. We're getting rid of all mortals.
But we don't know. I mean, there was the Amarian army as well that included mortals fighting. Like, they could have been taken out by their own kind. We don't know what took them out.
But even the Amarian army wouldn't have the power to kill them like that.
But the houses are still standing. They're not burnt. They're not ash. So
I picture it like the whatever spell he has on the land to make mortals step foot like instantly burn, that he like enacted that in a second or something, and they just all burned where they were.
But when we see him use it, nothing is like saved from what he burns. I don't know.
I'm not talking about when he's there. I'm talking about when they're fleeing and then that mortal steps foot on the land and he just burns. That's what I'm thinking like happened. Or the Gryvern just like.
Yeah. I mean, it could have happened that way. I just think that there's two sides to every story. So I want to know what the descended say that the story is. And we don't get that.
That's true.
I was going to say, because it's really odd that like Alix acts that way, like hesitantly, when she's so determined, when Diem is so determined that that the Guardians were telling the truth, or that Henry was telling the truth.
The whole trio is like, because obviously there's another side to the story, and I just am sad that they don't go ahead and say what that is in that moment.
They just need to like talk, because they've proven in the past that they all are blinded by information that they have been told, that they have seen, that hate fuels and cuts off your understanding of both sides.
I just don't see how no one sat down and said, Diem, what's everything you want to know about the descended that you don't feel like you know? Or here's a history lesson.
Something, because they have to know that she's had so much hidden from her about them. Like, why are we not just telling Diem a little bit?
What's Heather's book called?
The Lesser Gods?
The Lesser Gods. How, like, literally the vampires give her a book that's written by the vampires and is like their code of conduct. You're telling me the descended don't have a pamphlet that she can look into? I don't know. It seems ridiculous that no one is. Each time they find out that Diem doesn't know something, they're like, that's crazy you don't know that. And then they just move on.
That she doesn't know, or that she blindly thinks she knows.
Both.
Yeah, like either one. It would help.
It would help a ton.
All right, chapter 17. Fuck Tybalt, he knows. He knows where they're hiding. And now he's duty-bound, or whatever it is they call it, to tell the king. But he sits his giant Gryvern ass down and cocks his head. King Igneos continues to throw his little temper tantrum, but this time it's accompanied by flames. One by one, Diem and Alix's surroundings are turned to piles of smoking ash. But Tybalt stays quiet, just staring directly at Diem with his head in that quizzical pose. And then, just as Igneos sets his sights on Diem and Alix's hiding place, he questions the Gryvern out loud. They fled towards the dunes? The two women return without turning up any outsiders as well, and the trio flee on the back of Tybalt after the king strikes him again with his god-awful, one-of-a-kind made Gryvern brass knuckles. They'll continue their search in the dunes by midday tomorrow with riders. And I don't know what these people are riding. Are they horses? Are they... What are they riding? Are they scorpions because we're in the desert? I don't know.
I just think it's wild that he thinks there's a chance that Diem might be there and they say the plan out loud.
I mean,
I just think that's great.
I don't think he's very smart.
I think you're here, by the way, at noon tomorrow.
Midday and no earlier.
Mark your calendars.
We're searching the dunes, bitch. Yeah. All right, Diem waits approximately no seconds after their departure to go shouting through the streets in search of Luther and Terran herself, convinced Igneos had blasted them with his magic. Alix finds them where they had taken shelter in a hidden trapdoor. Diem is reduced to tears as she reunites with Luther after thinking he had been burned to ash. Let us also note the grunt Luther, solid wall of muscle Luther, makes when small for descended Diem hugs him. Now, moving on. The group argues about the best course of action to take, but Queenie has made a decision and her subjects will obey. They're headed to Umbros. Ain't nobody happy with that, and even less are happy when Diem says they're not leaving until dawn tomorrow. But using Terran's condition as an excuse, she gets them to agree. During the night, Diem goes to Alix to switch who's on watch, and mind you, Miss Queenie is acting a mite suspicious, denying Luther and herself the privacy of a whole house. Nah, dog, that's got to be a no from me. She waits until she sees Alix disappear beyond a dune and then slips away from the house she's supposed to rest in, only to spot Luther bathing alone in the dark after not participating in the community bathing that took place earlier. Obviously, he's self-conscious of his scars. That's the only reason. Then, bang, clang, clatter. Something's the matter. Alix and Luther quickly head in the direction of the noise, but Diem's headed to the opposite direction. Okay, I think I could literally cry about Tybalt. It seems like, no, that was it. That was my first thought. I think I could literally cry about
Because he's being
Tybalt.
mistreated.
Yes, because he's being beaten.
Yeah. The ASPCA would be at his doorstep.
It's just so sad.
In the
It bothers me.
arms of an
Stop it.
angel.
Far away.
What was I watching recently? I think it was Ted Lasso, and they were like naming female. Who sings that song?
McBride.
Sarah McLaughlin.
Oh,
You felt very confident about
Martina
that.
McBride.
I was
It's
like,
Sarah
oh yeah,
McLaughlin.
one of those.
They-
Yeah, sure.
They were
You're right.
talking. They were talking about that, about Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Ted Lasso was talking about all those singers, and I can't remember what. And they're like, "Don't you guys have a lot of like dog abuse or something in America?" And he goes, "Yeah, but there's a lot of great female singers trying to do something about that."
Great. Them great female singers
they're
are
trying
out
to do-
there.
they're
They're
really-
raising
They're
awareness.
trying to make a
They're
change.
raising awareness.
Okay, this is the part where it seems odd that he was able to more or less disobey the king's demands, even going as far as to mislead him. Kind of like actually lie to Igneos about where Diem was. So I'm thinking, is Diem already affecting the crown's ability to like control their territory and their Gryverns?
I think it's more of there is like things and magic that outweigh other magic.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that his mate is Sarai and he knows that that is the crown for Sarai, I think he's able to defy the rule of his owner over that.
It seems to me like it's like usually how Fae get away with things in books. Like it's not technically a lie because
Yeah.
usually Fae can't lie in stuff. So they like find sneaky ways to get around things. So, but I just don't know how he's able to like say they went towards the dunes. That is just so weird to me when he's staring right at Diem. He knows she's there.
And in essence, they eventually do go towards the dunes. So,
I mean, it's just, it's very weird because there is that like, I can't remember what it's called. I said duty bound thing that they have to like their specific crown. And he obviously, Tybalt works around it and does not do that. And it's for Diem. And it just feels like maybe because Diem is supposed to hold the crown and he knows that.
she's supposed to hold the crown for all of them. So eventually she'll have all the Gryvons, a little Gryvon army.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What I'm wondering is like it is important that I think she is bonded to Sarai, his mate. But I think there's more to it than just that connection.
Is he the one?
Because
That
I think he can
stabs-
sense it.
Is he the one that stabs her in the heart at the end of the book?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, it's Igneos. It's the same Igneos that's right here, this evil little shit. I wish we had a little elaboration onto why Umbros is so feared and disliked. I know mind magic is scary stuff, but I want like the lore. Like she's old. These descended have to know why everybody's so fucking scared of her and why they're so scared of her. And they're not telling Diem or
Yeah.
us. And I'm a nosy reader. Like I want all the facts.
It's in the pamphlet.
The
That they
missing
won't give
pamphlet.
The descended pamphlet that doesn't exist.
God damn it, give it to me.
I just need that downloaded to my Kindle by 3 p.m. tomorrow.
Penn Cole, this is your notice.
It's just so frustrating. Like, why are they so scared of Ambrose?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess I don't. I can see your frustration. I can understand your frustration, but I'm like, when it comes to mind magic, I just take that at face value. Like, that is the scariest type of magic, so that is why she is feared and nobody likes her.
I mean, yeah, you would never know what the real truth is. Like,
Yeah.
even if you experience yourself, you're like, oh shit, did she erase my memories and implant these? I don't know.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, is there a deeper story? For sure, there has to be. But am I curious about it? No, you just have to tell me she has mind magic, and that's enough.
She's terrifying, but I love her. I don't know why. Even when we get to like the chapters being in Umbros, like I
I
I wish we had her longer.
I just
than
don't
what
think
we
she's
do.
that bad. And I agree, Adriana.
She
I
does
wish
try
we
to
had her
kill
longer.
DM.
Yeah.
No.
She does.
Listen,
No.
she's like,
She
you
gives it her
can
all.
stay here and I will tell you everything. Or if you choose Luther and your friends, then
I'll kill you.
I'll kill you.
Yeah.
But, it seems like they've all done that because even Igneos kind of eventually does the same. He threatens her. Like,
Igneos
Luther
is an
can-
asshole the whole time.
Yeah, he really
Adriana.
is.
He's
He
just
really
an
is.
asshole. Chapter 18. Daddy Luther Angie. This man is in a thunderous rage. Let me see you break that table with nothing but brute strength and no magic. DM, I guess, doesn't feel the same, though, and is only upset that he's treating her like a delicate flower in need of constant care and attention, lest it will wilt and die. Luther makes the emo comment, I was supposed to be around to protect you, and leaves the premises. DM forces everyone to stay put and begins to treat Taryn's wounds with the herbs she's gathered on her little night tryst to Arboros. Becoming distracted while preparing them, she nicks her hand with the knife and bleeds into the herb mixture she was preparing. But it's all she has and all she's going to get, so it'll have to do. Taryn demands to know the full story of DM's night spent away from the group, and she takes the opportunity to be honest with him. Thank God. I'm not sure I could have handled it if she lied when he openly asked her. So here's her little recount. She rigged metal plates to fall and clatter to distract everyone. She buried her clothes in Igneos and swam across the frigid, sacred sea to Arboros. She hunted and gathered herbs naked. She was spotted and shot at by the guardians because she had to go back to Igneos on land so the salt water wouldn't ruin the herbs. When she's finished recounting her night, she asked Taryn if he'll forgive her or if she's going to have to tell Luther it was Taryn's idea for her to go alone. Forgiveness it is, then. This bonding moment has done just as much for DM's spirits as it has for Taryn's, and true friendship just makes me so happy.
When her blood spills into the thing,
Yes.
even the first read, I'm like, her blood
Yes.
is what heals you.
Exactly.
The blood is the secret. The blood is the healing power.
It makes me mad the second reread because I'm like, we're going to go how long before we just like
And later,
capitalize on that again?
later on when she's trying to recount what she put in it, and she's like, okay, now I added the herbs, and then she like doesn't ever and then I cut my hand, but that
Can't be it. That was just a mistake.
I've had weird experiences with my blood, and everybody wants to bottle it up to
Yes.
keep, but no.
Especially over the
broke-
Hearthstone. I don't know.
It broke
Yeah.
the Hearthstone, but nah.
But surely it
Is it
can't be that.
heart or hearth? It's heart, right?
It's
like
actually
heart?
hearth.
Oh my God.
It's a Heath bar.
Yeah.
It's a
Heath.
chocolate.
The Heathstone.
Somebody got to look it up because
I think the TH is silent. And it's our Hearthstone.
I'm still with heart,
Here.
but I get it.
Or harp stone.
I don't know where to look it up.
It's all good. I
We
was just
don't need
honestly
it.
curious. Yeah, it's not important right now.
Who needs therapy when you have a best friend you can be your feral self with anyway? Yeah. I mean, there's not really anything you can
That's
say to that.
therapeutic all in itself.
Why am I so bothered by the fact that she buries her clothes on the shore to come back to, but then she took the land bridge home, obviously not going to go end up where the buried clothes are. Does she double back and get them? Does she grab other clothes? I guess she's burying them to hide them from the others so they can't like see that she went into the river, but also did she go to retrieve them or like
I think she probably just got new clothes. Because everything is left Like the people left in the middle of the day. Everybody was working. It was untouched. So I think she just was like, well,
She
there's
found new
plenty of
ones.
linens
Yeah.
at the
It-
village.
I guess it just bothers me because she takes the time to bury him, but it has to be to just hide the fact that she went into the river or the
Yeah, I
sacred
Yeah.
sea.
mean, the
It's not
Guardians
to, like-
or Luther could look at that and be like, that pile of clothes was not there earlier.
All right, I'll let it go. I just
You'll let it slide?
maybe. Ugh, I don't know. It just was so bothersome that was like mentioned so like big, and
Just
it
call
has
her
to
up.
be.
It was a flawless
Hey, I have a
plan.
question.
It has to be to hide her traces.
Yes.
Because she was so upset about her footprints leaving
Yeah.
a trail. How fucking long is this flame route gonna last? What day are we on, people?
Yeah.
Like, how long is the most magical person gonna be affected by this shit?
Are we on day 3?
I
think?
don't.
There's some major blockage going.
We're either on day 3 or 4.
Well, she has to drink it before she leaves on the boat.
Yeah, so she
Mhm.
chugs it there, and then that night is when she runs into Luther and all them. They spend the night in the log, so that's night 1.
But she's had it
at the
repeatedly
log.
before. So how long does it dilute in your system if they keep dosing it? Because think how long it took for her to even show anger and the voice coming when she finally stopped taking it in the first book.
Yeah, so a few days doesn't seem like out of the timeline.
But I would think like a 2-day max, you would start to slowly feel things
I'm
coming.
so
But you
like,
just said it took
unwind.
weeks for her to
It
hear
did.
the
It
voice.
did. So maybe that's the problem.
I'm
she'd been on it
so
for years.
impatient. No, she was hearing fight even when she was still in the first book.
Yeah, but it had been weeks of her not taking the flame route.
So
Had
she'd
it,
been on it for
though.
years.
Yeah.
Had it. Had it.
Had it?
Had it though. Had
Oh,
it been weeks though.
Oh.
I'm just
I
kidding.
think it's been
I'm just so impatient. I'm
2
like,
nights at the log shanty, then the first night on the other side. I think it's been 4 or 5 nights.
That's a long time.
it's just so much.
When they
What
desperately
is your
need her.
ideal timeline for a flame route to wear off?
I mean, because she's supposed to be the most powerful descended, I feel like it should be a day and a half max. She should be back to normal.
You're gonna have to take that up with Penn Cole.
Listen, I think somebody's going to have to threaten Luther.
Threaten Luther with what?
So that like the emotions like help bring it forth.
Like someone
Like
needs
when they
to
were
threaten
training.
his life.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good idea.
I was so confused. I was like, why are we threatening Luther? What did he do?
Well, he's being an asshole right now.
Well, yeah, he's not being honest.
Chapter 19. Making their way towards Umbros, Diem is sweating through every article of clothing she is wearing. Taryn can't help but point out that it's freezing out here. Diem, still concerned for Taryn's health and wanting to check on the spread of the poison, sits with Taryn to clean his bandages and reapply any salve to his chest. Preparing herself to put on a smile to distract him, thinking she would only find the inevitable beneath the cloth, she is stunned into shock. Both Taryn and her notice that his skin is actually healing. The infection looks to be no longer spreading. When Diem tries to put more of the salve on, Taryn winces, asking if it's supposed to burn this time. Thinking that the water must have boiled in the tin, she uses her finger to get some out again, but Taryn only states that it is her that is burning up, not him. This instantly gets a concerned Luther to quickly come check on her. A very rattled Diem just explains she's tired and nothing more. She's a healer after all, but the others are afraid that Descended only gets sick if they've been poisoned, and our sweet, overprotective Luther is immediately asking over all he has seen her eat and drink lately. But Diem says she feels fine. If she starts to feel sick, she will let them know so they can rest. We all know that's a lie. Taryn and Alik's magic is starting to come back more frequently. However, Luther and Diem's have not returned. Continuing their trek onwards, they reach a rocky outcrop overlooking the beach and see 3 guards. Afraid if they do not continue, they will be caught by the king of Igneos overhead by flying over, with no way to tell how close they are to nightfall since the storms are approaching. They decide to continue on since Taryn is still showing signs of having some of his magic. They will not fight unless they have to. They do not want to give the guards any reason to recognize them or issue any violence on their land. An unprovoked attack on Igneos soil might start an entirely different war. So act nonchalant and don't let them recognize. Diem. Got it. They make a huddle to conceal Diem as best they can and make their appearance in front of the guards. And oh shit, Taryn's magic is suddenly gone. The guards halting them just ask why they are not using the ring road. They explain that they are on their way to Umbrose's border just ahead and just heard how beautiful Igneos's beaches are and couldn't pass up the opportunity. They inform that they need the king's permission to be here and must return. When asked when they arrived, they stated just this morning. They had some family attacked at Coriel and heard the mortals responsible were in the area and wanted to pay them a little visit. When someone tries to unhood Diem, Luther is quick to snap back for them to get away from his mate. Taryn explains they are newly mated and adjusting to their bonds. It's been sleepless nights for all of them. Once getting the all clear to continue ahead and stay near the water, not to enter the dunes, they are eager to get as much distance between them and the guards. Luther can feel Diem's heat radiating through her cloak and keeps asking if she is okay. Giving her some of his water, they notice that the water sizzles on her skin, and her eyes are glowing. Not like Luther has seen before. That's not blessed Luminosis light. Eager to get across the border, hoping it would be safer in Umbros than Igneos, and then Diem can rest for a bit. But then all of Diem begins glowing. Her hands are glowing molten red. The roaring grew in her ears. Her vision turned tinging orange. Burn. I basically just have mates written down because it's like, yes, he's using this as an excuse, but also he is not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the truth. So then it makes me mad when he like takes it back to
Yeah.
Diem.
Like, yeah, I didn't.
He's like,
That made you uncomfortable.
it is good that she recognizes though that it doesn't, and
Yeah.
compares it to when she was like so freaked out about even just marrying Henry, and this is like a totally different bond. I think that your first question is worth mentioning though, because it is like, are the fates decided for us or do we have free will?
Yeah, I
Kinda
just
thing.
wasn't sure like how to word the question I wanted to ask based on that, because I thought the conversation with Taryn and Diem was kind of hinted at and kind of important because it leads into mates. It leads into the fact that like, yes, you can deny the mating bond, but like the fact that you have a mate, you can choose to love someone else or whatever, but clearly I think her choice still would be Luther now that she's finally
Yeah.
acknowledging it.
Yeah, Taryn is like, well, you almost chose someone over your mate, which
Yeah.
she doesn't pick up on,
No.
but we all do. And then Taryn also says, I hope that we get more than one chance with a mate because, you know, if that's taken away from us, I would hope that that's not our only chance at love.
Mm-hmm.
Says the kindred offer us gifts, but we don't have to accept them.
I
Yeah.
know. I thought that was a really good moment for Taryn to show like a more mature side and that he's not always just playing games
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that he can think about things seriously.
He's got a big heart.
Oh, big old
love
lion heart. I
Taryn.
picture him as a lion. I don't know why. Like he's just lion-esque.
I love him.
Like an animal?
Like he's just big and like burly and he's got a wild mane of hair. Like I don't actually picture him like with a lion face. It's
He's
just
I have
like
to
Taryn
clarify.
without Taryn.
I have
or
to-
not Taryn.
Yeah. I have to clarify because you
Tamlin.
think sea monsters look like orcas. So when you say he looks like a lion, do you actually mean that? Or the
I don't-
persona of a lion?
persona maybe.
I
Like
picture a
he-
big bear.
Okay.
But I'm not changing your mind. I'm just saying what I picture.
I know. I'm
Okay.
just saying. See, you also picture like a big burly
Yeah,
animal,
yeah,
but also
But with
like,
a small
a s-
voice, not a gruffly voice like you think.
hey, Queenie,
Queenie.
you got some of that bread for me, Queenie?
It's just a playful voice.
Mm-hmm.
I also highlighted when Diem says I really needed to leave the promise making to Luther, and I'm surprised you didn't highlight that because you get really mad about the promise making.
Dude, I skipped that. Did I not even read it? Please read it to me.
It just says I really needed to leave the promise making to Luther
Yeah.
because Diem breaks a promise. She promises Luther that she'll let him know if she starts to feel worse.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
And she does, and he's like, "You promised that you would let me know." And she's like, "I really need to stop promising things." And I thought for sure you'd highlight that because you don't like promises at all in
I
any aspect
don't.
ever, no matter what the circumstances.
I mean, that's a little too far.
no,
but
you don't like it.
also, how can they're so close to the border. Like, why would she say, let's stop and rest? Like, there's guards chasing them. They're so close to making it in the clear. No, let's take a break, please. I need to cool off. Like, that doesn't make any sense. She shouldn't have said that. Yeah. She should have been like, no, listen, I'm going to push through whatever fucking happens because we are so close to being in the clear.
We need to get over the border, yeah.
Use your brain, Luther. We're not resting.
Luther.
But clearly, her body says something else.
It's true. This is true.
Yeah, I just basically said so much for making it across the border before being, like, actually seen and by seen, I mean by notifying the king.
And if it's Lumnos that is, like, working through her in some aspect, I don't think maybe it was an accident that this happens right before she reaches the border. I think maybe there's something bigger at play that Igneos needed to see this moment. This moment had to happen.
I think you're right. Yeah. I really think
you're right. The timing is too sus, as you would like to say.
I think that Igneos needed to be put in his place. He's been abusing his power in his Gryvern for too long, and Lumnos is like, suck it. Even though Luther doesn't have a crown, he's stronger than you.
Yeah.
I know that hasn't happened yet, but I'm like,
this had to happen.
This moment had to be here. Also, I picture Diem turning into like Taka from Moana. I know this is the second time I've said Moana.
I haven't seen the film enough to know what part you're talking about.
It's the major point when Moana is like, I found you, and she has the heart of Te-Fiti, and she gives it to Taka, and Taka is like the huge lava monster that's about to
like turns her into land and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So
I didn't know I haven't seen it enough to know names or parts or scenes. Well, that's impressive.
It's like lava. I have a 7-year-old.
Yeah, I know.
And her eyes are like glowing, and everything is glowing red, and it's just like fire and lava. And I'm like, that's Diem. That's Diem right now.
I don't know why the first time I read it, though, I don't know why I missed it, but I didn't automatically think, oh, because she's in Igneos, it's his flames, until like everything gets consumed. And then she's like, because when he first just mentions her eyes are glowing and then she starts to see orange, I still thought it's whatever is deep within her roaring, and it's still tied to her dad.
Oh, yeah. I thought the same thing when I first read it. I don't
shadows or something.
Yeah, I don't think I realized that she's starting to gain everybody's power until much later in this book.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I read it.
But when he points it out, though, in the next chapter, it's like, okay,
that was obvious. My bad.
Not only am I taking, like, kind of when they say Feyre, like, not only am I taking a little bit of your magic being here, I'm also absorbing so much power that I'm showing you how powerful and more powerful I am than you. I'm more God-like in that sense, I guess. Chapter 20. Everything was fire. Luther helps Diem through her panic as everything was engulfed in flames. Yet he is so impressed with how quickly she mastered it. Their clothes are not on fire, and she isn't even burning him. But the guards have flames lit to the sky to notify their king. They found her. They hear wings in the distance, and immediately Diem begs Alix to honor their conversation about taking Terran and running. The king said to keep Diem alive but kill the others. But we all know Luther isn't going to be happy about this command from his queen. The king is all too pleased to see Diem. That's sarcasm, by the way. The crowns of Amarian have been looking for her. She is wanted for questioning, and an edict has been issued for her capture until those questions have been answered. Diem explains that she was captured by the Guardians during their attack on the island, and she managed to escape, but they chased her into his realm. Noticing the flames at her feet, the king demands to know how she is wielding his flames. Luther, you're wasting your time, Igneos. You cannot defeat her. Your magic is a glimmer. Hers is the sun. Our little hype man. Right before he dies, practically. Diem can feel something distinguishing her fire within, smothering and draining, leaving her feeling spent. The king wants Diem, but orders his guards to kill Luther. A battle ensues. Diem is able to shield, kind of absorb, the flames being thrown her way. Begging Luther to run for Umbrios, she will stay with the Igneos king if it will save his life. Luther refuses to leave her side. He'd rather trade his life for her safety. Last thing we read, a Fortosian knife headed straight for Luther's heart.
Fortosian. One knife through the heart.
4 toes in, 1 knife through the heart.
That's
I
her
like
new
that.
song, right? I like it. You should tour with that. Diem is still learning so much of her powers, yet there is still so much unanswered. How do you think her being able to shield the flame attacks, but also like absorbing them, would speak for her having those like godlike, maybe kindred powers? Or could this be something else entirely? It kind of just goes back to our theories. Like, is there anything of this scene that's making you change your opinion too?
I just think that thank God she remembered that she can absorb any descended attack. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why
I
were you
forgot it.
even trying to use the flames to shield in the first place? Like, drop your guard, girl, because
Yeah.
you got this.
Absorbing is a better strategy.
Plus, it'll help your magic come back, which we know Jenna needs to happen right now.
I think it's weird that the guards the guards shoot something in the sky to let the king know that they found her. If you look back to when they like first meet the guards, so the guards know that there's Diem on the land and that the king is looking for them. Don't you think they'd be like, "Hey, can we see everybody's face? Show us your passport." Like, don't you think they'd do a better check than, "Oh, you're fine. Just stay
It,
here. Don't do this."
it was this guy's first day. Cut him some
Yeah,
slack.
that's what it kind of feels
He
like.
clearly missed the mark.
He did.
I think that Taryn just has a way of relaxing people and that their cover story was pretty good. Like, oh, we killed some guardians and blah, blah, blah. And like Igneos being against mortals is going to be like, let down their guard when they hear, oh, they went and got back at the guardians for like something that happened. So, yeah, there's 4 people that the king is searching for on the land.
Mhm.
And now I'm faced with 4 people. I might be a dumbass if I'm a guard.
I just I felt like I should be questioning more. Igneos King does not seem like someone you wouldn't want to fully listen to the instructions on.
Right.
You just would want to. And it's interesting that most of the guards are women. Most of the soldiers are women.
Mhm.
When we know that in Fortos, it's all men because all the women are healers.
I also think, though, that the guards in Igneos don't really like their king.
What makes you say that?
From what we witness, like they all are kind of mistreated, just like his Gryvern is mistreated, and none of them seem to be taking too kindly to it.
Yeah. He's a mean leader. He's a mean guy.
Not a great one.
He likes to hurt people. Who hurt him?
He's a small, sad little man.
Well, that's kind of what I was bringing up when you were saying that, like, whoever was around during those times that Alik was referencing to, that, like, had opened their home, was very much more forgiving until having to choose in the Blood War, kind of like descended or mortals, and just it went from there. I feel like that hatred has just trickled down through those generations as well. And, like, that's why he is, I mean, I'm not giving him an excuse by any means, but like it clearly shows in him as well, and how his mistreatment of his even companion, like his Gryvern.
I
Yeah,
feel like
but-
his predecessor probably died in the Blood War after they made that decision.
Yeah, but it does show that his followers are not fully at the hatred level that he is.
Yeah.
Too. So I think that that's good. That's good news for Diem.
He might be one of those ones too that is just like
A Vance?
evil to their soul. Well,
Yep,
Vance,
yeah.
I feel like we're gonna get a story. I feel like Igneos, we're just gonna be like, he's just a bad guy.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Vance does have a backstory that we will, even if we don't want it, I think we'll still get it.
Yeah.
Chapter 21. Diem lies there, blade sticking out of her chest. Did she jump in front of Luther? Her sacrifice to save him. The king is furious at his people for not following orders to kill him, not her. He's worried that Sophos will come sniffing around and want to take a look at their bodies. He does not need those questions. He would rather incinerate them both and leave no traces behind, claim they were never in his lands. Already emotionally upset, Luther hears this as he is holding Diem and his magic is unleashed in full force. He annihilates the guards. The Gryvern hasn't stopped staring at Diem. Their connection is revealed that he will spare the one she loves if she will spare the one he despises. Diem calls out mercy and asks Luther to back down. She saw the way his powerful magic was ready to kill the king, which would only leave the Gryvern to kill him in reaction. The Gryvern flies off with the king, and we are left with Diem asking Luther to use his magic to attack her and to trust her. How does she just know? Is this godhood telling her what it needs like an intuition? She is absorbing the magic, and it is healing her somehow. Luther's timid at first to use his magic on her in this way, but once he sees it's actually helping, he releases his magic and the blood in her chest and mouth is no longer drowning her. Her magic calls for his and vice versa. Two very powerful mates. They see Taryn running towards them, worried for his queenie with a leaks not short behind. Both Taryn and Luther are not happy at the girls, tricking them into their plan. Noticing as soon as they were over the border, Taryn immediately returned. Diem's going to be okay, but she knows she is going to get an earful as soon as she is no longer on death's door. Taryn carries her as they make their way to Umbrose's border. They cannot keep fighting destiny. I feel like we hit kind of a major turning point with their bond. These chapters really show it. I can't be the only one.
Well, yeah. It's the first time that they're really confronted with mate face to face, and Diem isn't scared. She's not running, and Luther is like still trying not to suffocate her with it.
Yeah.
But he knows.
But he also knows that he's dying. So, like, how does he not think that that would affect her in turn if he can tell that they both have feelings for each other, but he's just not, he's afraid that, like, that it won't harm her because they haven't acknowledged the bond? Is that?
Also, would the bond would make both their magics stronger.
Yes.
Their magic together is like the ultimate magic. How are we not putting that together yet?
He's trying to be selfless, and it's
being
really,
selfish.
really dumb. He
It's
doesn't
the
understand.
opposite.
He's doing what everybody does when they try and protect someone. He's making a decision for the other person, and instead of communicating and informing that
And
person.
I hate it.
And I also hate that.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I pointed out that their magic together would be a turning point for this war. Is this the plan from the ones in control? Are they hoping to rewrite the story with Luther and Diem? Because I can't help but put a lot of emphasis on the fact of them being as powerful and bonded. Feels like Penn is telling us something. But I don't think that we're going to get anything.
They're both half mortal, and they've both been
Yeah.
raised, one by descended and one by mortal, and now they're together fighting.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big imagery right there. Pretty big foreshadowing and imagery.
This was done on purpose.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe,
Just
baby.
maybe.
I don't think that anyone could have saved Diem.
Oh, so you're saying because they're mates, that's why he could save her?
Yeah, like I feel like because she obviously, like we've learned, she can absorb the powers. It doesn't harm her in that kind of way, but like I feel like specifically, and I'm gonna call back out to like the Sarah J. Maas books, like Feyre's blood saves Reese, and I feel like Luther's magic calls to her magic, and I think that that's healing properties being used on her. Like, I think it would take all of them to be able to fully, like, heal her from, like, a mortal wound. Or not mortal. Immortal wound, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
No, mortal.
Mortal wound, yeah.
I think I think you have a point there. But I do think that she has said before when somebody else's magic is being absorbed that it feels like it's kind of powering her as well. But I don't know. It could be only Luther that's able to heal her to that point. Like, he
That's
might
only
be the
Daddy
only
Luther.
one most powerful. Yeah.
It's only Daddy Luther.
Daddy.
I mean, their magic does call to each other, so it's going to answer to his magic best. So I feel like that makes logical sense that his magic would work best. But I don't know if I'd say that any magic wouldn't have worked.
We don't know how fatal that is for her. And she's begging for him to use his magic in a way that he would have never even considered.
I don't know. Do you guys have theories that have formed recently?
Not in this group of chapters. There's a lot of action in these chapters, not a lot of information.
Yeah, this one just kind of confirms the mating bond more than anything.
I do think, though, that I guess my theory would be that Diem is gaining control over other territories as well as their assets, even though there's still crowns
Yeah.
with the crown on their heads.
She doesn't realize that's what's happening, but yeah, that and the mating bond being formed. You shouldn't accept a mating bond because it's going to make you stronger, but I don't know how by the end of this book that isn't a strategy that they take. I don't get it. Like how and when she's like dying on the island, she's regretting that she didn't do that with Luther and that they didn't solidify their mating bond. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, halfway through this book, you should have just been like, okay, it's a risk, but I do love him and it will make us both more powerful. So let's just do it.
I mean, maybe when you save him from the Godstone and you guys realize like you never want to be apart and this is like you're accepting your fate and your destiny with each other. I mean, maybe just do it right then.
Just
like
an idea.
maybe, you know.
Maybe.
I have a question. When they realize that Taryn is actually healing and they're blaming the salve, and even Luther is asking, do you think you can make more? Do you think that that was a moment for him to like have hope that even though he knows from his wound there's no coming back? Or do you think that he wasn't still putting points together of her blood?
He didn't know about the blood.
No, there's
but
no
he
way he knew about the blood.
watched her. He watched her make it. Then he's like, "Oh, I'll take your mortar and pestle and clean it." And
he makes more.
He takes it, and she even notes, "I see him vigorously washing my mortar and pestle." And it's like, no, he's making more salve to use for himself. You can even see like the hope lights up in his eyes when it's not necessarily just for Taryn that hope lights.
Right.
It's for himself. But he still doesn't
say,
say, "Hey guys, I got one too." Like,
you think you can do that for me?
I was stabbed as well. It's looking pretty black down there.
It's not looking great.
Got some veinies popping out.
It just doesn't make any sense. It's not in his character. It just is so frustrating.
Yeah, I don't like things that are out of character either.
Yeah.
It really does bother me when that happens. But also, I do understand that the book needs drama or it would be boring.
Yeah,
so
true.
I get it.
Let's wrap it up. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. Next episode, we will be going over chapters 22 through 29 of Heat. Be sure to follow us on all of our socials. Tune in every Friday on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast for a new episode of
Book Thoughts.